In this video, I'll tell you exactly why most people stay stuck in the rat race. They do not get out, they live miserable lives, and what exactly makes them go into this vicious cycle. Most importantly, what can you do to get out and not get stuck? If you don't know me, my name is Ishank and I make videos for you so that you can succeed instead of getting stuck in these dumb things that don't matter. The video going ahead could be thought-provoking, it could be controversial, it could dismantle some of your existing beliefs, and maybe in some case could even be triggering. So just a warning, please keep an open mind. So we're talking about the problem of rat race here. So how does the cycle start for most of the immigrants? See, first they are told that they're missing something in life, so they need to move abroad, either to Canada, Australia, UK, somewhere. Let's consider in this example Canada. So they are told or they are made to believe that something in their life is missing and Canada or this XYZ country is going to solve all their misery in life. That's the number one lie that they are told. Next, they're told to go to an expensive college and get an expensive degree. And what happens when they get an expensive degree? Lot of debt, lot of student debt. This is not really a good idea. A fancy degree from a fancy university is a fool's idea of glory. Remember that. The amount of money that you make in life depends on your skill. It does not depend on your degree. But again, people are told this lie, and since people do not think for themselves, they believe this to be true. And what happens after that? They get an average job. And I'll tell you later why this ends up to be another vicious cycle. So once they get a job, everybody starts running after PR. देखने लग जाते कौन सी स्ट्रीम में होगा, कितना एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए होगा, ये नहीं वो नहीं वो नहीं. The worst part is most people do not even look for a better job. They just get stuck with the average job that they have. As an example, people would not go for high paying jobs like tech sales. They would instead just be managers at Subway or McDonald's and just keep working there because they know उनको वहाँ से PR मिल जाएगा. Like it doesn't make sense to me, but still people do that. And एक बार PR हो जाए फिर next thing, oh the big opportunity, they need to buy a house because the house is an asset. An asset लेंगे तो फिर हम अमीर हो जाएंगे, है ना? तो फिर सबको ही घर लेना है, तो फिर घर पीछे भाग जाते हैं. And these people don't understand कि they actually don't own the asset. The bank owns the asset unless the mortgage is paid. So it's not really an asset, it's a liability for 30 years. People don't understand that. पर नहीं, घर लेना हमें तो फिर घर लेंगे. घर लेने के बाद क्या होगा? फिर हम सेव करेंगे बहुत सारे पैसे, TFSA में RRSP खोलेंगे, हर साल पैसे उसमें डाली जाएंगे. उस अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट के बारे में नहीं सोचेंगे कि उसके पैसे के साथ क्या हो सकता है. पर नहीं, हम तो पैसे डालेंगे. क्यों? क्योंकि हमें बोला गया है कि अगर ये आप करोगे 40 साल के लिए, आफ्टर 40 years you will become magically rich. आपको बोला जाता है कि if you invest money for 40 years at 10% or 8% rate of interest, you will have a decent amount of money, a few millions by the time that you retire. पर ये नहीं बोला जाता कि 8 या 10% जो ले रहे हैं वो लास्ट 25 years की एवरेज है. पिछले 200 साल की एवरेज कौन लेगा मार्केट की? और अगर मार्केट की एवरेज लें, इन्फ्लेशन इंक्लूड करें, तो एक्चुअल रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट 4.5% आता है. Anyway, people don't understand that. उसके बाद उन्हें लगता है कि एक बार ये चीज़ होगी फिर वो हैप्पी हो जाएंगे और उन्हें लाइफ में फ्रीडम मिल जाएगी. A lot of illusions here, but anyway, that's what people believe and that's how most people live their life, especially if they are an immigrant. Everybody goes through this cycle thinking कि उनका कुछ बन जाएगा. But the problem does not end here. Next is the vicious cycles between cycles. So here is the magical concept, and ये मैं सुबह सोच रहा था मेरे दिमाग में आया कि inside every cycle और every rat race उसके बीच में inherently और cycles और rat races भी होती हैं. जैसे छोटे होते तुम्हें बोला जाता है कि बेटा एक बार ना 8th कर लो, एक बार 10th कर लो, फिर तुम्हारी लाइफ सेट है. एक बार कॉलेज चल जाओ, फिर तुम्हारी लाइफ सेट है. यहाँ बोला जाता है कि बेटा 10th के मार्क्स काउंट होंगे, बेटा +2 में अच्छी तरह पढ़ना, ये सारे मार्क्स काउंट होंगे और इसके बेस पे ही जॉब मिलेगी. फिर जॉब ढूंढने जाते हो, फिर तुम्हें पता लगता है कि मम्मी ने तो झूठ बोला था. But anyway, the parents are not wrong, you know. The knowledge that they have is from 30 years ago, so you can't really blame them. And एक एग्जाम्पल लेंगे हम विशियस साइकिल की, इधर की जॉब के पर्सपेक्टिव से. सो इफ़ यू आर इन कैनेडा एंड यू वांट टू गेट अ जॉब, सो व्हाट डू? यू गेट एन एवरेज जॉब दैट पेज यू $60,000. And by the way, $60,000 is the average salary. I took the average salary so that most people could relate. And once you get $60,000 in your salary, 25% to 30% is taken out. Now this depends on the province that you live in, but still taking the average. So 25% of tax gets taken out, जिसके कारण आपके पास रह जाता है सिर्फ $45,000 in your hand. And उसके बाद 45,000 रह गया, which is not enough. It's not much. you can't really live your dreams and travel the world and do everything with $45,000. तो उसमें लोग क्या करते हैं, they start with छोटी छोटी खुशियाँ. People start buying expensive clothes, shoes, gear, bags, watches, cars, sometimes even houses, just for the sake of buying them. Materialism में पड़ जाते हैं. Materialism is a trap. Things will never make you happy. It's just an illusion that is sold to you. But anyway, people believe कि हम ये महंगी XYZ चीज़ ले लेंगे तो हम materialism के साथ बहुत happy और free हो जाएंगे और लोग हमें सोचेंगे we are very cool. But see, life doesn't work that way. So what happens? People become slaves to the system. For them to keep the lifestyle that they have, for them to repay the debt, उन्हें वही जॉब करनी पड़ती है जो वो actually hate करते हैं, and वही सारी चीज़ें करनी पड़ती हैं जो उन्हें पहले प्लेस में नहीं करनी थी. Why? Because of something called lifestyle inflation. It's also a trap. Stay out. And now you might ask, Ishank, why do everybody does all of this? What's the main idea here? What is the trap or what is the illusion people are after? So the point here is everyone is after freedom. While you agree to it or you don't agree to it, everyone is after freedom. In fact, the biggest thing that money gives you is also freedom. तो सारे लोग फ्रीडम के पीछे हैं. फ्रीडम इज द बिगेस्ट थिंग दैट एवरीवन इज चेजिंग. एंड नाउ यू माइट से, ईशांक, यू हैव टोल्ड अस एवरीथिंग दैट वी आर डूइंग रॉन्ग. तुमने सारी प्रॉब्लम्स बता दिया है, तुमने सारे साइकिल समझा दिए हैं. बट वॉट एक्चुअली इज द डैम सोल्यूशन? एंड द सोल्यूशन इज फ्रीडम. इट्स एवरीथिंग दैट वी आर चेजिंग. Either you believe it or you don't believe it, but everybody who is doing anything in the world right now in terms of falling into cycles is actually chasing freedom. In fact, the idea of making more money, it directly brings freedom. It does not inherently bring fulfillment or, let's say, happiness in some cases that you might think. Now, freedom is of two kinds, and that is what everyone is after. So first I'll tell you what exactly are you after, what exactly are you chasing, and then I'll tell you how to actually get it. So by the way, don't skip the video, watch till the end. So the first thing that everyone is chasing is location freedom. So the idea that you can make the same amount of money, imagine that you're making $60,000 a year. Imagine that you can make the same amount of money regardless where you work from. So if you live here in Ontario in Canada, you can make $60,000, and even if you go to India, you can still make $60,000 because the amount of money that you're making does not have to do anything with the location that you live in. Maybe taxes a little bit here and there, but not really the big chunks. How, you might ask? Because the money that you make is directly tied to the internet. It's not tied to the country that you live in. That's how. And that is something that you should be chasing. The idea here is, or actually my goal here, the idea here is that you can enjoy the summers here in Canada, see what this beautiful country has to offer, and get out of this damn place in winter. Maybe go to Goa in India, or maybe go to Bali, or maybe just go to your nanny's house in India. Just go out of this country in winters. And that can only happen if you have, number one, location freedom, and second, financial freedom. This is something that you might understand. And financial freedom में क्या होता है? Financial freedom is the ability to make the same amount of money even if you stopped working, let's say tomorrow. It's not the same as retirement, just a disclaimer. Anyway, retiring early is a dumb idea. Maybe I'll make another video on that. But financial freedom should be the idea, so that you get out of the vicious cycle of making more money, and then you can do whatever the hell you want to do in life. Maybe you're somebody who likes to paint, and then you can paint for the next 30-40 years of your life without even thinking about money. That's the idea. If you like traveling, that you can travel the world, see 190, 200 countries without thinking about money. That's the idea. The idea is to have the ability to make money from anywhere, plus to make money while you sleep. That should be the goal. Now you might ask, Shank, okay, I understand, that is what I'm after. How do I get there? So you get there by having a business. Now you might say, Shank, ये rocket science नहीं है, मुझे पता था business कर रहे हैं. What's the main idea? I'll tell you later. I'm just trying to lay out the bricks here. I'll explain everything. Business gives you freedom, you pay less tax, you write off a lot of things. And third, the most important thing in my opinion, why everyone should at least try to pursue business, is because it's the highest form of self-improvement. Try to understand, whatever you do in business, if you do it right, you get the right results very soon. If you do it wrong, you get the wrong results very soon. The idea is instant results, and hence it can be very gratifying or it can totally crush your soul. And more or less, it's an adventure. It just makes you feel alive. It's the highest form of self-improvement. And that is why you should at least try to pursue some kind of business. Now you might say, Shank, I don't know anything about business. I samjhaunga bhai, ruko. There are three main parts in business. So you have the product, you have the marketing, and then you have the sales. Imagine Coca-Cola, for example, they have the product, which is the drink, and then they market the drink, which is the advertisements that you see online, and then they sell the drink. So that's how they make money, and that's how the business runs. Now, this is a very elaborate process in a traditional business. As an example, if you take just the marketing department, there are two kinds of marketing, organic and paid. Similarly, there are two kinds of sales, inbound and outbound. So the process can be a little elaborate, and of course when you need to have departments, when you need to have other people in, this is where the big problem arises that ये गोल बहुत बड़ा लगता है, ये चीज़ बहुत बड़ी लगती है कि यार ये सारी चीज़ें हम कैसे कर लेंगे एंड ये सारा मैनेज हम कैसे करेंगे. एंड स्पेशली इफ़ यू लुक एट द पिक्चर ऑफ इलन मस्क हियर, बहुत सारे लोग मैं भी सोचें यार हम नहीं चाहते इतने पैसे बनाना, हमें नहीं चाहिए, वी जस्ट नीड लाइक $200,000 ईयर एंड विल बी फाइन फॉर लाइफ इफ़ वी कैन डू दैट सस्टेनेबली, दैट्स फाइन. तो हमें इतने बड़े पैसे नहीं, हमें ये सब कुछ नहीं करना, बिकॉज द मोर मनी दैट यू मेक you'll have to take up more responsibility, and that in itself could be another vicious cycle. तो उससे अगर हमें दूर रहना है तो फिर क्या करना पड़ेगा? What is something जिससे हम business भी कर सकते हैं, we can still have all the benefits of the business, पर जिससे हमें business की downsides नहीं मिलेंगी. That is called solopreneurship. Okay, it's a different term than being an entrepreneur. A solopreneur is also an entrepreneur, but instead of having, let's say, 200 people in a team, there are basically 1 to 3 people in a team. Now if you look at the picture, you might think, Shank, this is an octopus, it has 8 hands, it's doing so much, it's juggling so much. I don't have 8 hands, मैं सारा business कैसे handle करूँगा? This is where the main term leverage comes in. Leverage is something that is going to make you rich. I'm going to make another video on it where I explain exactly how to use this and exactly how I use this. तो वो हम चीज़ बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे. For this video, just try to understand. You can have leverage. You can be an octopus without being an octopus. You can just use your 2 hands and do a lot of things. I personally have done the same things, and if I can do it, I truly believe you can do it too. There's nothing special with me. In fact, I do dumb things all the time. So how would you use leverage here, if you might ask me? So the idea here is social media. So you still have the 3 departments. You have the product or the service that you're selling, you have the marketing, and then you have the sales. And now you might ask, Shank, so how does social media help here? Social media is a kind of leverage. I can post a video now and then I could go to sleep and millions or tens of millions of people can watch the video without me doing anything. I just did the work once, I made the video once, and then I posted it. That's it. That was all that I did. Maybe wrote a caption, but few things, but that's what I did. And the distribution after that was done by social media. I did not do it. So I've used the same leverage in my journey, in my experience, and I have a loyal community of 220,000 amazing ninjas. And I'm very thankful for that. If you're part of the community, thank you so much. I love you. You can very easily channelize marketing and sales through social media. Now, all you have to do is take care of the product or service that you're going to sell and then take care of social media. So instead of managing, let's say, 6 to 8 departments, you're just managing 2 departments, and you can do that alone, or you can hire another contractor, or maybe just 1 employee, which means that 1 to 3 people can very easily manage the entire operation. And that is the main idea. See, if you do these things, you can get out of the vicious cycle and not do the dumb things like most people do. You would not have to sacrifice all your life just to figure out कि last में कुछ था ही नहीं, just to climb so high to realize कि your ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. And वो कैसे करेंगे? Just a small blueprint मैं आपको अभी सिखा सकता हूँ. All you need to do is get a side hustle, and all you need to do is, after your job, let's say after 5 p.m, all the energy that you get, so after 5 p.m, all the energy and resources that you had should be going towards your side hustle. And इससे क्या होगा, from the time that you get after 5 p.m. or the time that you get on weekends, you will slowly start to use the leverage that I've told you earlier, and then you'll start building your online income. So if you can make an extra, so side hustle से क्या होगा, once you start making some money, let's say you're making $3,000 on the side, and from the job, let's say you're making $4,200, ये दोनों आपकी ऐड हो जाएंगी, जिसके कारण you'll finally get $7,200 as an example, and you can get out of a lot of cycles. And slowly, if you keep putting in the work, and since you are using leverage in this example, this would not take very long, you can very easily surpass this income. And once that happens, you can quit your main job and just keep doing that. So if you are watching the video, I have almost escaped the rat race. I have done what had to be done, and I am going to teach you everything from my experience on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe below so that you don't miss any video that will help you or propel you forward in your future. I hope this shattered some of your beliefs and made you think, and if that did, I'm pretty sure watching this video will do the same thing. So वो video देखो, subscribe करो, and I'll see you soon.